Richmond's morning news keeps you running strong. 9 a.m. Let's roll all morning long.
All right. Thanks for joining us this morning. It's Richmond's Morning News on News Radio WRVA. Today is Monday, July 6th. Tuesday. We've got a lot to get to on the program this morning. Now, I will open it up for the 933 experiment. Virginia did not do a very good job. Pretty weak when it comes to our exhibit for the Great American State Fair. I'll tell you this. I couldn't even go inside because there was a bicycle lock that kept the door closed. You couldn't even open it up. There were some booths where exhibits, and they're small rooms, 20 by 30. They're not huge. And ostensibly, here's what I'll tell you. People that went were given a passport. They took that passport, and you could get stamps from every state, and that way you visited all 50 states, get a little taste of every state. And some were great. Texas, great booth. New York, great booth. Arizona, great booth. Some were meh. California, really not much into it. Florida had putt-putt golf and Florida Man. I think Colorado had a ski lift chair. North Carolina had cars, NASCARs in it. So everybody was just trying to give you a little taste of this great union. And for those of us that live here in this part of the world, going to a different state is not a big deal. Like you can go into Maryland pretty easy. A couple-hour drive to go to Maryland. A couple hours to go to Tennessee, West Virginia, North Carolina. If you go out west, where the states are much bigger, it takes you 2 days to drive across Texas. California, it'll take you a couple days to drive up and down the state, and it takes you 7-8 hours to get from one state to the other in many places. If you want to go Los Angeles to Las Vegas, it's a pretty big trip. San Diego to Arizona, pretty big trip. So you don't really visit all the different states out west as you do here because the states are a lot bigger out there. So this is a state fair for everybody. So we're going to get into this. If you got a chance to show people what the Commonwealth's all about, what would you want to showcase? And we'll do that coming up at 9:33. We'll open up the phone line. Dave, I was going to share everybody because I said I was going to share my experience of being there in D.C. on the 4th of July, and it was pretty cool.
Well, do tell.
To be there. So here's what I saw. Nobody asked me who I voted for. Nobody asked me who my favorite candidate was. You know what they asked me? Where are you from? Virginia. Oh, that's awesome. I've never been there before. Where are you from? Iowa. Oh, really? Yeah, I wanted to come out here to celebrate America's 250.
You're from the state with the bike lock on the door.
Yeah, the bike lock. I'm the bike lock.
Do you know the combination so we can get in there?
Yeah, help me out a little bit. People asked where you were from, and then they were so excited to talk about their state or to ask about my state. And I told them, I've lived around the country, but boy, do we love Virginia. We really feel like this is home. And we've only been here a year and a half, and I've told people, I love history, so to be able to visit Mount Vernon, Monticello, I live in between the two of them. Couple-hour drive to Monticello, couple-hour drive to Mount Vernon. Said I've been to all these amazing places and seen so much history. I've learned more here in just the year and a half that I lived here than a lot of history that I knew, or this history's come to life. And I said it was remarkable. So nobody asked me who you voted for. Are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? Nobody asked me any of that. I just saw people like me dressed in red, white, and blue enjoying this great country. So we went to the state fair. The rodeo was canceled because it was too hot for the livestock, but we enjoyed it nonetheless. Had a hot dog, walked around, looked at the different booths. It was great. Some of the booths were great. Some of the booths were awesome. I'm afraid of heights, so I didn't go in the on the Ferris wheel. And then it was pretty hot, so we went back, had a nice dinner, late night, and just, it was hot and steamy all day, and I smelt like it. So went home, went back to the hotel, took some showers, went to bed, got up the next morning, got on the metro, went into D.C., met up with our friends. And again, Daniel Cortez and his family have been so nice to us. And met up with him, walked down, got in line, waiting to go in. And it's Secret Service. So there's a whole bunch of people, and we're in the VIP line, and the Secret Service is there. And it's just, Dave, it was like a Super Bowl or a prize fight. You could feel the excitement in the air and the anticipation of what we were going to see. And then the flybys start around 1 o'clock. They've been going by, and it was NASA had some, and the Air Force, and the Marine Corps, and the Army, and then the Navy. And it was spectacular. The flyovers that you had, and the greatest air show you'll ever see. And then more and more people start showing up, more and more people waiting to go in. The gates are going to open now at 5 o'clock. And I'm standing there, and I look over, and this family walks over, Dave, all in matching white T-shirts. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. Now, I will tell you, on the 4th of July, Rigney and I wore matching polo shirts from Roback, the company in Charlottesville. So we had on our blue Navy Aviation polo shirt. So I said, hey, come on. And he's still okay with us, dressing like father and son. So we dressed together, and we were just kind of hanging out. And you see this family walking, and they're all in white. And on the back, it has the 250 logo, family reunion. And then I kind of look at some of them, and I look at the patriarch of this family, and it's Glenn Beck. And I'm like, wow, I've been at a holiday party once when I worked at the big syndicator, when I had my national radio show on Fox Sports Radio. But now I'm like, oh, look, there's Glenn Beck, and he's like walking towards us. He's just standing there. And I look, and he's got the same pass I do. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Now I'm really, hey, listen, Mr. Cortez, I got the same pass as Glenn Beck. Well, holy cow, I'm in some pretty high cotton over here. So I said, I'm just going to walk over and say hi. So I walked over, introduced myself, said hi, told him how much I admired his work, told him what we were doing at WRVA. And we shared a couple of minutes, and he just kind of gave me some advice and encouraged me. And then he said, hey, is that your family over there? I said, yeah. He goes, can I meet him? So we walked over, met my wife, and she said, oh, I'm a big fan. It's nice to meet you. Met my son. I introduced him. He goes, hey, can we take some pictures? Do you guys have a camera? So we took some pictures. Very nice. Left him alone. And then my son said, do not bother him anymore, or you will become a stalker. I said, all right, I won't talk to him anymore. And then he was nice. He was just standing in line with all the rest of us, and there's all these people waiting to get in. And it's hot. It's really hot. But it didn't dampen the electricity from anybody that was being there. So I met someone who was on the RNC committee from Wisconsin. I met people from all over the country, and they're all just talking about how much they love America, how much they love America. Met someone who worked at one of the federal law enforcement agency. He was great. Started talking to my son about, what's your future plans? And have you ever thought about, going to work for the federal government in law enforcement? And, hey, here's my number, exchange numbers. Hey, listen, I'd love to be able to help you figure out what you're going to do once you get done and you retire from the Marine Corps. And he's like, yeah, these people are so amazing. Yeah, they were. They're real Americans. They weren't asking who we voted for. They were just happy to be there, and they were celebrating America. So then we get in, we get through security, and we get to the event, and they did a great job because it was so hot. So many people were just getting dehydrated. They had these big tubs of water, ice water. Everybody could catch up, rehydrate. We went in. There were big bleachers. There were picnic tables. And then where we were sitting, there was one section that was probably 20 rows deep for the red cards on their lanyards. And we had a blue one. So we were that first row right afterwards. We're in the same seating area as Beck. So I must be doing pretty good. And I saw John McGuire, and got a chance to catch up with him and wish him a happy 4th of July. And then my son and I start walking around, and we walk over to find Brian Kilmeade, and we're just kind of walking with our access. Here comes Dennis Quaid in a golf cart, and he's just standing there. Hey, Dennis, what's going on? Strike up a conversation with him, fist bump, thanks, and appreciate the Reagan movie. Lee Greenwood comes by in a golf cart. My son goes, look, there's Lee Greenwood. I'm like, Lee Greenwood, hey, buddy, how are you? Hey, guys, how you doing? So, chat with him for half a second. Then we go find Brian, and they say, oh, time for everybody to leave because of the storm coming. And we were watching the flyby. We watched the Thunderbirds. They were amazing. I missed the Blue Angels because that was earlier in the day, and we hadn't gotten there yet, but we saw the Thunderbirds. Amazing. And then we watched more demos going on. Air Force One flies over. Oh, Dave, the one that just was 100% just awe-inspiring was the B-1 bomber.
Yeah, I've seen the B-1s before.
Flying over your head?
Yeah.
You want to talk about something that would strike fear in the heart of anybody? That B-1 bomber. Online, people will call it the Freedom Dorito because it's shaped like a Dorito.
It's shaped like a Dorito.
Like a Dorito chip, like in the triangle.
Yeah. Okay.
Or the other one, my son says, you know what? It's all fun and games until you start missing pixels out of the sky. Because you look up, it's black, and it just looks like you have a TV that's missing a pixel.
Oh,
the way the back
yeah.
of it is. But watching that thing, wow. So you see all this American firepower, and you just feel just the love of country. And there's one part where the Thunderbirds snuck up and just like buzzed the tower next to Washington Monument. It was amazing. But then the storms rolled in. They had to evacuate 400,000 people. They were able to get back in about 150,000. They're the ones that were there for the speech. We were outside. We never got back in, but it didn't dampen anything for spending the 4th of July in our nation's capital. And it's something I'll take to the grave. So thank you so much to the Freedom 250 Committee, to the White House, and of course, my very, very good friend, Danielle Cortez, for including us. It was a truly amazing experience to be in D.C. for our nation's birthday. And then on the way back, Dave, we stopped by the National Museum of the Army and spent the afternoon there. It was really cool. You guys want to comment on any of that? You can, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. Today's program was brought to you in part by Pearson's Signature Dealerships. By the way, I said it earlier, thanks to the